Yeah, we don't talk about it enough. And I think also men don't know about it. They don't know what we go through. And I think that would be really helpful too, that men understand if we're going through something very specific, our whole sexuality shuts down, our ability to like open our heart shuts down. There's just so many things because we're so mental.
Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in a big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands.
So here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Married Game podcast. We're the voice you trust when it comes to lust, and we are who you hire when she lacks desire. And if your dating life and your sex life is totally lame, no problem. We got you here at Married Game. And we have a guest today. Welcome, Taylor Carr, a.k.a. Tay Fame. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's exciting to have you here because we've interviewed a bunch of dudes, and we've interviewed handful or two couples. And the first time we had a woman on here was just last week, just by herself. You may know Marnie Wing Girl Method?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I love it. And she was a woman, that helped me 13, 14 years ago learn actually how to have game. So she had there was a whole story that she had a big influence on me that kind of created this, and she had no idea. So you're the second gal who is in the dating relationship space. We follow your Instagram. I think the shit you say is really smart, and I like how you say it, and I like kind of your angles on how you say things. And so it's kind of been an initiative of ours towards the end of 2023, moving into 2024, to have women on that we think are badass, that have good shit to say, and you fall in that category, and you are only the second lady we've had here. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh my gosh, that's so much pressure, but also so exciting at the same time. Thank you.
Yes, don't fuck it up. No, you've got a sharp wit. You've got an angle on how you see things. I know it's kind of cliche to say, how did this all happen? But if you could tell us how it all happened, and if I am allowed to ask questions about the emotion of what you went through when you were coming to these discoveries, for me, those are really titillating for me to understand the emotional journey too. So
you get to have it all.
Yes.
Whatever you want, you get to have it.
Starts off with a bang.
That's how it works here in the man cave.
Married game.
That's how it works here.
So in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with an incurable pain disease in my bladder and my womb space. And it was really painful, really invasive. Many women go through it. It's called interstitial cystitis. It feels like a UTI that doesn't go away.
Just a little closer.
Oh my God, I got chills even on that.
There we go.
Because that's like the worst feeling.
It's the worst feeling. So you have this like UTI, but there's no bacteria. They can't treat anything. And they have to go inside of you and like do all of these things in your bladder. Super invasive, super traumatic as you can imagine. And then my pelvic floor closed off to protect my bladder, which meant in my early 20s, I couldn't have sex. I felt unworthy of love, undesirable. I had a lot of people telling me that I was undesirable. I remember this man telling me, stop talking about being a sick girl. You know, no one wants to love a sick girl. And I think that this was such a pivotal moment for me. I always remember this. So I was going through these invasive treatments. They weren't working. The medical system said, we can give you medication. You might lose your hair and not get results, but we can try. And I was like, what is going on with women and health? And why do they not know about us and our bodies? So I took it upon myself to just figure it out. And I healed myself naturally within a year. And I had been recording it on YouTube just to put it out there. And I didn't realize there was like 30,000 people watching. Wow. And I ended up coaching people for free just all over the world to help them. And just more and more unfolded. I was like, oh my gosh, feminine energy. Oh my God, feminine sexuality. Oh my God, my body is so amazing. And all these things I'm capable of that I didn't know before. And all this trauma I was holding in my body from my childhood, from my mother, from her mother, et cetera, et cetera. Flash forward, I'm in the relationship. I've got the guy, I've got the career, I'm like, I made it, have the clients, and then out of nowhere he goes, I don't see a future with you, and moves out. And my world broke. Yeah, my world broke. I was like, but I did it. I was the perfect girl. I did the healing. I did the work. I was sexy. I was playful. I was fun. I was tantric. I was loving. I was nurturing. I was giving him penis massages every morning. Like all these things that you think would be perfect, and still he left. And so I got really curious. And I was like, what is going on between men and women right now? Why are we not on the same page? And how can I crack the code? And I just dove in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gave me like chills a million
Yeah, I
times.
was watching
Literally.
you brushing off your chicken skin, still there.
It's I hear your story and I relate to some certain things. So
Yeah.
it's just like,
Well, what did you relate to?
Well, our first 2 years in, then I thought I was the perfect girl, and then you broke up with me like out of nowhere. I was blindsided with that. And also with that, woman health issues is something that I think all women deal with at a certain time in their life, and I was kind of going through that journey myself. So
Yeah. Yeah, we don't talk about it enough. And I think also men don't know about it. They don't know what we go through. And I think that would be really helpful too, that men understand if we're going through something very specific, our whole sexuality shuts down, our ability to like open our heart shuts down. There's just so many things because we're so mental.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's so cool because one of the reasons why we're like, hey, we want to have more women on the show is to help guys understand the female brain.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my dog never has a deep conversation with me. And I never get mad at it because I know that's just not how she's built. Like, that's a dog. She can look into my soul and I think she's saying something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if a guy understands how you're wired, how you think, how you communicate, they stop getting so upset that they're not like us.
Yeah.
And so if we can peel back the curtain a little more and go, all right, it's not just Jesse saying these things because this is the female version that they're listening to, but now it's people like Marnie, people like you, and people like others that we want to have in to say, help us understand more. Okay, so what did you learn? When you dove all in, what are the big two concepts that you're like, these two things were like the thing that really shift the needle for us? I'd love to know that.
Two things. Okay, I'm like a million
You
things.
can say three if you want, but you know.
I'll try to keep it with two. I'll keep one for the male side and one for the female side. I felt that on the men's side, there's like this massive epidemic with men right now where there's a lot of guys opting out. They're opting out of doing the work. They're opting out of having careers because the economy is so difficult, women are so difficult, the pandemic was so difficult, and at some point it's like, well, as a guy, when am I ever going to be perfect? I'm just not, so I'm going to fuck off. And I saw that happening also in the dating world where men were not wanting to open doors, bring flowers. Like I had heard stories from women like, well, I stood by the door and I said, are you going to open the door? And he said, well, are you going to open the door for me? And so like I started to hear more of these stories. Yeah. I mean, I lived in LA for a long time, so you have to imagine there's a certain type of guy in LA. But yeah, so I started to see that more men were just feeling so unworthy in society that they were showing up in dating like that too. And then on the woman's side, actually I will give three. On the woman's side, I noticed that women were overgiving, overpouring, and doing the most, like basically auditioning for men to approve of them. And when they weren't getting that approval, they were beginning to hate themselves and hate men in the process and build this anger towards men to where we couldn't let them in. Even the women who were already married were like creating this hatred for men in their body instead of expressing it, not knowing how to. And the third thing I'll give you is the overarching is dating apps and phones. Huge problem in our dating world right now. Like we are oversensitized. The next person's always a swipe away, so why should I care?
Ooh.
Wow. I love your perspective. That was like
I feel like
shocking. I'm different and I'm really like, I love it.
Yeah.
I somewhat agree definitely with all that.
Yeah, I think I more than somewhat agree. I might
like
agree.
I'm wrapping my head around what you
Well, I want to
said,
dive.
and I was
Can
like,
we dive?
that is
Let's
so
dive
good.
into it. Let's unpack some of it.
Yeah.
So I want to start with the thing you said about the women. Actually, I feel is really true about dudes too, because a lot of women or a lot of guys feel like they're auditioning for their wife.
Right.
They feel like, and then when they feel like they don't get that approval or the whatever that they're looking for, they then become these passive aggressive dudes. We've seen this a lot in marriages, you know. But let's break down. Okay, so let's break it down. So for the guy, your biggest thing was they're just checking out.
Yeah.
Did you find like winners feeling that way, or guys who could have been on the cusp of winning and losing, they just end up going to loser status?
Yeah, kind of the guys on the cusp.
Yeah.
But even then, I felt that I saw a lot of winners who were winning, and then the woman comes in their life, and they're like, "Well, fuck, I can't do anything right by you," and then they start to check out.
That is the truest thing yet.
Yes.
Totally. It's like this. Like we're literally just like two walls trying to like wall up against each other, and there's no heart in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I got a side question that we can get back to the other one. What happened when your guy ran into you? Because when somebody runs into somebody who's got a high level of awareness of what's going on, it sounds like you got a standard that this motherfucker better either live up to, or he's not even getting any of your attention. Can you break that story down for us?
Are you talking about my man currently?
Your man currently, yeah.
Yes. He showed up beautifully, like he was powerful and chivalrous and kind and generous. He wouldn't say this either, that he's a nice guy, but I would say he's a really good man.
Yeah.
And it impressed me to see how he carried himself in the world. It wasn't just about me. Like, yes, of course, I love the way he treats me, but the way that he was carrying himself with others in the world, with the waiters, with whatever, the way he was setting things up and just had his life and manages his life, to me was really special. I was like, wow, this is a wonderful man who just handles things. And I love that. That doesn't mean we don't have struggles. He's a powerful personality. I'm a powerful personality, and we run up against each other all the time. And I take it as my duty as the feminine in the relationship to say, I'm not going to let us just sit here in silence. Maybe you want to, but I'll sit in silence with you when there's not an air of density. Like, I want to be heart connecting right now. I don't want to just be sitting here and not connecting. Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty powerful, huh? Yeah.
Because you more do that.
What?
Come up to me and break all the things.
Break it down?
I saw one of your videos and you talk about masculine and feminine things, and that is something that we've been diving into, and like the old school stuff, and then now like kind of put it into new school stuff. But we're pretty like old school, I guess you would say, which I think works and helps. But sometimes it's that, where we clash. And what would you say anything about all that?
Hold on, let me add. Can I add a little advice on that one?
A little salt and sprinkle.
Well, here's the thing: is we both gravitate towards traditional roles.
Yes.
But as I've been thinking about it, you love being in the kitchen.
I do.
You stare at me until I eat the first 2 or 3 bites of the meal you make for me almost every night.
So embarrassing every time you say it, but
I love it. But so it's like I think that we naturally kind of blend into that. I like to be the leader. Not like I gotta be the leader, but it's like, hey, I understand this stuff, but if you know some stuff, I'm like, well, what do you know?
Yes.
And then just keep me out of the kitchen unless you're ready for like an amazing, set of eggs.
Well, I think to dive a little deeper on that, it's where we thrive. We're placed, you and I, where we thrive, and it works. But that's where sometimes like you are, the leader, and then sometimes, we'll do this kind of thing.
Okay, so
yeah.
What say ye, Taylor?
What say ye?
Because this feminine masculine dynamic, I think, is it's the answer to everything in life.
Yeah, it's something we're really
we'd like to hear your take on it.
Everyone's take on it.
Okay, I'm going to dismantle this in every way possible and then rebuild it from scratch for you.
Let's go.
Because that's what the feminine does.
Okay.
I think that there is this, so masculinity and femininity, this is my world. This is how I really dove into this work back in I think 2015 is when I picked up my first book about it.
Okay.
It is a very old school way of thinking. And I'm not talking old school like 1950s. I'm not talking old school like when Jesus was born. I'm talking about like thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago in East Asia, like in further cultures, when masculinity and femininity, it's the principle of two energies, yin and yang, creating a whole. And so what I've seen happen in, again, like the social media phone world is there's this rise of masculine and feminine means traditional roles. 1950s housewife, leader, alpha guy. That's not what it is.
Okay.
And so...
Oh, I like this
Me too.
dismantling.
I'm so glad I asked.
That's not what it is. Now, there's truth in it because the feminine has her magic and the masculine has his magic, and we bring it together and create the whole.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. But we have to take, I call what I do like classic dating with a modern twist, because we also have a modern world where we understand women can't just be housewives anymore, because that was a time when we had to be. We didn't have a choice. Now we get to be powerful sovereign beings, and marriage doesn't serve the same purpose as it used to. Marriage was about business agreement, provision, have a bunch of kids, have them work the farm so we can have food. It was a deal, right? Or depending on if you were royalty, whatever. And now marriage is about desire. But we understand that love is not enough for marriage either, because look what happened in the 90s and the 2000s. We all got married for love and we all got divorced. So it became this like, how do I take what's classic and works there and bring what's modern and works here and go, what makes sense, but also where's my desire, and how do I choose you again and again and again, and I fall in love with you again and again and again. my femininity is for me. My femininity is my creativity and my wildness and my sexiness and like all this like magic that totally attracts the masculine. And your masculinity is like
catnip.
Yeah, it's like
It's
so
like fucking-
addicting. And being a woman who knows how to turn it on is like, stunning.
Yeah.
But then like masculinity is so sturdy and grounded and forceful in a beautiful way. And we can see both used for manipulation and terrible things as well. So I guess to wrap all of that up in a bow, it's not about traditional roles. It's about the fullness of you being met by the fullness of your partner and how you come together in that way, in the right way for you.
That was really well put.
Right?
I like your take on that.
Thank you.
I love that. That was so good. It's like the fullness of you and the fullness of me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I anytime someone says, let me dismantle that and rebuild it, you've had me at hello. Because the way
like
we look
hanging
at
on every
marriage
word.
and the way we look at dating and how we look at things, man, I really agree with you.
Good.
And
Yes.
it's refreshing. Jesse said something on our walk this morning, and you said there's like what did you say? Something about we've known a lot about men for a long time, and we're starting to know a little bit more about women.
That's what your post was. That's what I was referring to. Your post
okay.
is what she said. So I was saying, this is what I listened to. This is what she said.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you said that women have known a lot about men for years, right?
Yeah.
Because that was
Millennia.
a role or whatever. but I mean, and then now men need to learn about women. But like my reference in my brain is like, men and women just figured out what a clitoris looks like. Like they just discovered that that's actually like their own organ and thing, and it's not just this little dot. It's like a whole situation. And we just figured that out. Like that should have been the first thing we all figure out. Don't you think? So I was like, that is so true to what I think, and I was like, that's dead on. Like it's time for everyone to learn about each other, and then now refer to what you just said is to be our whole. What did you say? Most amazing self in our relationship.
Fullest self.
Yeah. Fullest
Yeah.
self. Congruent, fullest,
Yeah.
amazing self, where we can thrive.
Well,
and
I
be a
was
great
telling her, I say,
relationship.
well, maybe that's why we're here. Maybe because that's what we're talking about too. Is like, hey, dude, every guy that comes in the married game, every single one without fucking fail goes, how come nobody told me this before I got? How come I didn't know any of this?
Yeah.
I go, I don't know. I'm looking at my dad too, going, how come he didn't teach me any of this? Like not one bit of this? So I think you're onto something there.
I have so much empathy and compassion for men because we are raised to like, what do boys like?
Yeah.
What do men like? We dress like this for everything is for the boys.
Yep.
So women are learning how to be something for us. Whereas guys, you guys are taught to be all these things for women, but it's like, go get successful, go get a six pack, go like all these really surface level things. Like, don't get me wrong, it's sexy.
Yeah.
We like a successful guy with a nice body. That's great. Mm-hmm. But if you're not connected to your heart, if you don't know anything about emotional intelligence or maturity, if you don't even know how to like have a conversation with me or please me or receive feedback from me and you get in your ego and you shut down, that's not a relationship.
Yeah.
That's when a woman will start to withdraw. If I say, hey, I'd really love this from you, and then you get in your ego and you're like upset about it and you're not doing it on, like it's this dance that we're doing that I think we get to get better at.
Dude, you're so right. We are stepping on each other's toes all over the place. I noticed it because when we went out with our friends, and these are our best friends, and they've got beautiful relationships. Even our coach was with us. Yeah. And I'm sitting there in the observer mode of a lot of this, and I'm going, wow, none of us really listened that carefully to what the other person's saying. And I was watching, and I
we all had drinks.
Well, no.
So
I'm not
like
knocking at anybody. I'm telling you, but I'm even listening as we're at dinner to other people around, and this is the setting. I was overhearing this guy, and he told something to his wife, and then she responded like beautifully. She had no tone. She made her request known. She was articulate as shit. And this dude like basically discounted everything she was saying. And I'm like, well, but I do it to you all the time. Yeah. And I saw myself in that guy, and I'm like, oh, that fucker does what I do. And you go, I'm seeing this. I'm like, yeah, but you can't see that because it's this. Like, I'm telling you what the fuck I'm seeing. I'm like literally giving you all the clues in the lyrics of this song. How do you not know the lyrics of this fucking song? And it hit me. I was like, damn, you're so right. We are like, no, but that's not what I'm doing. Well, if you were rubbing my knee and I said, hey, you're rubbing my knee, you're like, dude, no, I'm not. That's your fucking elbow. I'd be like, I don't know what to do with this crazy human being. But that's how stupid we all sound when we argue with each other.
Arguing is good. Arguing is beautiful, but like, can we handle it?
But can we get to a resolution?
Yeah. Can we handle it?
Can we handle it?
You're arguing for a purpose to solve it.
And it's, I feel like arguing is more like, help me understand your side so I can understand why you're saying these things. Because, like, I said this to one of my best friends. I go, hey, is your wife very smart? He goes, yeah. I go, then she can't be wrong every fucking time.
Woof.
You can't. How are you right every time if she's brilliant?
Yeah.
That math doesn't make sense. And those words haunt me when you're saying something. I'm like, that is so wrong. It's like, every time she's wrong, Keith? She can't be wrong every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's really fascinating?
I
think like the whole wrong thing is so fascinating to me because I think that now we're going to get a little esoteric, but
Let's go.
I think you're onto something because I think I agree. So go ahead.
Ding, ding, ding. Like there's no right and there's no wrong. Like just overall, like this whole division we have of who's right and who's wrong.
I said that to him.
I love
what was this?
I
You showing off your big fish?
I'm showing off
She's
that
like,
I said that before.
yes.
And you're just
there's no right and
solidifying
wrong,
what I said
but
is
there's
right.
my feelings and your feelings.
Yes.
And how do we get to a place where we're on the same page? And the thing is, and I love this, it feels so clear to me, men and women, every person on this planet, we want the same fucking things.
Same thing.
But we get to them so differently.
Yeah.
And if I can't hear you tell me how you get to that thing, well, fuck me. I'm not going to be good in a relationship.
That's so true.
I love that.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
Wow, we've been on this thing for not even 20 minutes, and you're brilliant.
Thank you.
I feel like you're like coaching us, and I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, listen, this is what
Jesse's
you're
got
saying.
our girls. She's
Yeah.
like, my girl's in the house, excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, dude, this is
I need more girls around here. But
Woo,
like,
2024.
that's what I'm saying.
the femininity wave has rolled through the man cave, and I love it.
Because I am around like you men and all the guys that come in here, which I love it. I love it all the time. But it does feel so good to have another woman's brain and the way like women think more and smart as hell to be like, this is what I think. I'm like, I'm not wrong all the time.
Yeah,
so
you're
like
not.
it is like somewhat what we're saying. And I fully agree with, like, I don't need you to say sorry. I don't want to say sorry. I just want to hear your side. I want you to hear my side. And now what are we going to do about that?
Yeah.
There's no, like, you used to hang on. Well, you didn't say sorry. I'm like, sorry's not the point. I have these feelings. You have these feelings. There's no sorry about
But
those
also
feelings.
what Taylor said is if there's the point, and I'm saying it gets me to the point when you apologize, she's saying let's be open to that too.
No, I'm just saying you would hang on that, like, for dear life and not even just hear my feelings.
I just like it when a
That was a while ago.
human being says, hey, I kind of fucked up, I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm crazy. Is
Oh,
that masculine?
I mean, I like it too. Like, I think when you're an evolved person, you like personal responsibility.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying to my man, like, okay, what did I do? I fucked up. I'm sorry. What is it? I'm not perfect. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And I know for men, it's really hard to open up about that too, because you guys want to be strong and you want to be all of these things. But I'm like, fuck being strong. Like, you're strong telling me this.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm very strong if I'm just shutting down. I don't think that
agree.
I'm being strong if a lot of women are conflict averse. We don't know how to have conflict. So, and this was who I used to be. This was part of my big becoming journey is I grew up in such a unsafe household. It was so dangerous that when anyone got upset or angry in my life, I just shut down, got really small, went in the bathroom and cried. I could not get into conflict. Now I'm like, maybe it's like a little too conflicty. I'm like, always like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But it's because I feel comfortable in my womanness and my femininity and receiving to also give back. And like, I want to fight for us. If I stop fighting, it's because I'm not going to fight for us anymore. If I stop nagging you, it's because I don't care. Women who 100%. Nag are women who are fighting for the relationship to work.
That is...
Nag. Right. And of course I'll teach women, like, don't nag your men. Right. But at some point, if I've said, take out the fucking trash 10 fucking times, I'm going to start to nag and sound like your mother. Please don't make me become your mother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And just for the context for the guys, that would have been, he would have already agreed to take out the trash. And so that's why you're reminding him.
Or even if it, like, one ask, like, hey, could you get this for me?
Yeah.
And then it's still there.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be two
like,
asks.
no, because also if you ask me, like, hey, can you pick up this towel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, life together.
That's what do what you say you're gonna do when you say you can do it without fault. Like that comes under that category.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, I'll do that for you, and then they got to come back and be like, oh, fucking Toddlerville again. I got to ask him again. Yeah, that's a big turnoff.
I was just going to say, like, you want your woman to have more sex with you. Like, do what you say you're going to do and make sure that she trusts you.
Yeah.
Because if your woman stops trusting you, her pussy is going to close.
Absolutely.
She doesn't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Confirming what we say.
When the trust goes down, the lust goes down.
Yeah.
We should come up with another clever saying that something about
clamming up, closing
yeah,
off.
the closing.
Yeah,
My mind is like
Time to make some pussy poetry.
Yeah. I want to make some pussy poetry. It has something to do with lips and lips.
Yeah.
You know, when if your lips are lying, then you know you'll be at her lips a prying, something like that.
No.
Yeah, it's a rough draft,
Yeah,
but we're
we'll work
workshopping
on it. Yeah. Send it to me before you post it.
Yeah. Hey, quoting Taylor Carr. No, kidding.
Careful.
Oh, dude, this feminine masculine dance is the dance.
Yeah.
First of all, it's probably the most beautiful thing. Like, we love the game. Like, we call this thing married game.
Yeah.
To teach men how to actually have game with their wife, because it's a fun game. Like the back and forth, the flirting, the banter, did that mean what I think it meant? I don't know.
It's the funnest game.
It is.
And then they don't play that game when you get married. They're like, oh, the game stops, I'm married.
Yeah.
But that is literally the funnest game. And when you're younger, you're like, I'm so excited to like go dating, all the things, and you go out dancing, and then people get married and it stops. But that is the whole funnest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say? What is your what say ye, Taylor, about? By the way, I don't think I've ever asked anybody that, but for some reason it just fits.
There's something regal about.
Yeah. what say thee? No. For men and women in long-term relationships, what is kind of something that you recommend for them to keep it going?
Yeah,
keep it
stop
exciting?
treating your partner like your business partner and start treating them like your lover. Again, like once you make them a business partner in routine is the killer of desire, right? And so obviously routine's necessary, especially when there's children involved, but that's your lover at the end of the day. That's your best friend. That's not like your associate. It's not like your masculine counterpart at your job. Don't treat her like that. And same thing for the women. Like, don't treat him like he's just the guy there paying your bills or whatever. I don't think that that's very fair. I think that when you're lovers and you court each other and you flirt and you make it intentional, it should be fun. It should be easy. If you don't feel the same way about your partner anymore, you can fix it, because love is a choice. It's a verb. Like, the thing about love that I think most people don't understand is that after 2 years of being together, your brain comes back online. Your prefrontal cortex is fully back on. Your love goggles come off. Love at that level, the lust love, it doesn't last. You have to recreate it. It becomes altruistic love. It becomes familial love at 2 years. It's your job to continue to restoke the fire.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Do you have any practical ideas that might be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'll go for women first,
Okay.
because I think we tell men a lot of things, and when it comes to this stuff, and women get to hear things too. Dress sexier. Like, just dress sexier. Like, put lingerie under your clothes. I know you're tired. I know it's exhausting sometimes. Again, especially if you have kids. Like, it's a lot. But the element of surprise, even for yourself. Like, this is what I always tell my female clients, is you do it for you, not for him. He gets benefits and results from it.
Yeah.
But when it is for you, it's the same thing as like, yeah, I'll lay here and like let you do whatever to me, but I'm not into this, versus like, I'm so into my own body, I want to share this with you. And so, like, women, get back in your body and share it with your partner. Dress sexier, feel better about yourself for you.
That's a good reframe, by the way.
Yeah, and for men, like, court your woman again. Don't get lazy. And like, please, for the love of God, like, stop looking at your phones.
Yeah.
Like, when I walk by you naked and you're looking at your phone, that's so painful for me. If I, if I'm like kind of like in my body and I'm trying to do the thing, but you're too busy, I'm gonna shut down even further.
So true.
You have to keep courting me. Like, leave her little love notes, buy her flowers. It's not hard. Like, these little things that are not big deals. Like, we're not asking for like, buy me a whole building.
Yeah.
Like, buy me flowers, leave me a love note, and like, surprise me once in a while. that's enough.
Like, think of me.
Think of me.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people, it's funny because one of my love languages is gifts, and people are like, "Oh, that's so blah blah blah." I'm like,
people
hold
hate
up.
on that one.
I'm gonna love on it for a second, because gifts mean that you saw something beautiful, thought of me because you think I'm beautiful, and gave it to me. And again, it's not a Prada bag. I mean, it could be, but it's not a Prada bag. It's like, wow, like this little like beautiful flower thing, origami thing that I learned how to make. I'm gonna put this on your car before I leave in the morning. These little things that are beautiful make me feel beautiful to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the little things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all those little.
It's intention. It's being thought of.
Yeah.
It's not forgetting me.
Consistently.
Say if you were putting me last, it's
I've
not
always
feeling important to you.
I've always wondered this. That shit's not difficult, right? You know, making a green drink for your girl, like doing the little things. Hey, I filled up your water.
People would say coffee, but yeah.
Yeah, coffee, like whatever these little things is.
That they like.
But it's almost like people nowadays, even in life, it's like, don't overeat, go get sweaty for a little bit. Like almost all success is based on these little things. Is it just that we're stupid as human? Because like nobody's listening going, dude, that's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck, it's that answer again.
Yeah.
But it is the answer. What say ye?
There's so many things I could say, but I think my favorite thing to say about this is just fucking stop it. Like, knock it off. Stop making it harder than it is.
So true.
Yeah.
Your wife, your woman is the key to your success. And so if you're not nurturing her or watering her, like you guys talked about in your podcast, right? If you're not watering her, your success is going to dwindle up and die too, because that woman is your key. Like, that's your muse. Sure. And if you don't keep the muse happy, what's going to happen? Your whole life is going to fall apart. And I mean, and yes, women are far more complicated than men.
Yeah.
That is so true. But it is your job and duty to learn about that complication and make it simple. Because we're like, oh, we're so complicated. We want flowers. Oh, we're so complicated. We want to feel thought of.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so complicated. We want you to compliment us and tell us we're pretty. Yeah. It's really not that serious. It's just not the way that you go about your typical day. It's building a new habit, building a new muscle, and you get to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of couples that come to you that say they just lost the drive, they lost the fire, they lost the thing?
Yeah.
Or is it usually one at a time?
I mean, I generally work with one at a time, not typically together. Sometimes we'll do a session together, but I'd rather work with them separately because there's things that we don't want to say in front of our partner. Like I'm getting ready to work with actually a lesbian couple, and their masculine and femininity is off, their polarity, and that's what they came to me for. But what I actually found was, no, one of them has a serious woman wound and has a lot of pain around women, and now she's with a woman. And so how that's showing up is very interesting and unique. So, I mean, everyone is so different. Masculine and feminine can't really be a blanket statement because we're individual people with individual pains and wounding. And first and foremost, it's our job to figure out what that is. Like, I know what my pain is. I know, like, my shortcomings. I know what I bring to the table. I know all of it. I know myself. I trust myself. If I don't know that, I probably shouldn't be in partnership, or if I already am and I'm discovering it, I have to take time to myself to learn that. Because when fire goes out, I can't tell you what to do. Like, I can't be like, well, the fire's out and you did this. I can go, the fire's out and here's who I'm being, and switch my energy. And a lot of the time, the partner will follow just based off of the energy alone.
It's taking accountability.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't want to blame or shame anybody. I just want to be the woman who receives it, and then see if you can rise to the occasion.
You know what's crazy when you're talking about this and what's not, you know, you're talking about there's not a right, there's not a wrong, it's just how we get there, and you know your shit and you're owning it and you're aware of it and you're like, hey, this is how I'm reacting to this, etc. Whenever I think about it, I think as humans, we tend to think because we know like 15 people, like actually only know like 15 people, that we know the whole of people. And that would be crazy if you said, I met these 15 creatures. There's 8 billion of them, but there's these 15 that I know pretty well. So I know how to categorize all 8 billion. And when it's like, that's literally fucking impossible. Yeah. And a lot of our arguments that we argue about, it's probably how we were raised. It's probably the wounds that we carried. And I just recently realized that I didn't grow up in the normal childhood. Like, it was a big revelation for me, okay?
Like you actually thought you had like a normal childhood, whatever that means.
Good for you with your normal childhood.
I thought so.
I was like, cool,
I
whatever.
thought so. Like, no wonder I'm so cool. I grew up in a normal childhood. And it's like, you didn't grow up anywhere near that, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And it was almost like this veil came down. I was like, oh, shit. And it made me start to rethink a lot of things with the attitude of, I actually don't care what the answer is. Like I'm not going to try and go prove my answer. I'm just like, well, here's the real question. What's the real fucking answer? Yeah. So I love that angle, and that seems to make people. I feel like that's the key to showing up with curiosity. Yeah. And the curiosity is really the answer. Yeah. Like, well,
accountability and curiosity.
That's a real interesting thought. Why do you believe that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's a pleasure to be a human, and most of us spend time thinking that it sucks. I think it's a pleasure. I think, you know, on the other side, whatever it looks like, whatever you believe in, you don't feel all this stuff. You don't feel grief and pain and heartbreak and pleasure and orgasms and love and lust and all these things. And so I think the moment for me that I was like, oh, grief is beautiful too. And that's part of my existence and that's part of my life. And it's not going to shut me down. It's going to crack me open further. I just began liking myself more too. I was more curious about life unfolding than like, oh, what did I do wrong or what's wrong or blah, 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 blah. I work in the space of like, what's going on with society? This is possibly what's gone wrong. But as one person, I can't change that. So I go, how do I like create the little ripples by continuing to be a better person, a deeper person, a more kind person, a more empathetic person, a more magnetic, sexy, feminine person. Get it. But I think it's just consistently deepening you because none of this exists on the other side. And so you have to enjoy it. Like you really have to enjoy it. Don't do this like, well, I'm a man and I do this raw. And don't do like, well, I'm just a woman and I'm meh. No, like it's like, who really are you outside of all this shit you were told to be? And like do that and then connect with people deeper from that space.
Yeah. That's really good.
I'm going to give you a hearty amen on that one.
You're blowing our minds today.
Yeah.
That's what I do, guys.
Yeah, you are. It's
so
really good.
Beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. I'm going to ask you a personal question and then see if we can relate it to everybody.
Yeah.
When you started doing work on you, is there things and is there parts and pieces of you go, wow, I really don't like that about me? And then when you discovered that, or if somebody goes down that path and they discover things that they don't like about themselves, what have you done to help? What do you say to people to help them start to like themselves again? Because I've been through that journey, and there's pieces of me that I look now and I go, I don't even like, and I go, ooh, I'm sure Jesse sees that and knows that, but what do I do about that?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little, it's shadow work. It's uncovering the pieces of you that you or society would deem unlovable and loving it anyway. And I remember when I first started doing shadow work, I mean, it's so vivid in my mind. I remember seeing like this bad girl Taylor, and I had like locked her in a closet. And I'm like, I don't touch bad girl Taylor. This is perfect Taylor. Yeah. I was like cupcake perfect, Gone with the Wind all the time. It was very annoying.
Gosh, women do that all the time.
Oh my
they
God.
Lock it away.
It's fawning, right? It's like, if I'm perfect, I'm safe. If I'm perfect, I'll be loved. Yeah. And there's like this badass version of me smoking a cigarette, like locked in the closet, like, you gonna let me out or what? And I,
so awesome.
And I had to kind of like metaphorically let her out and sit down and have tea with her and say, who are you? And what do you want? And like really listen to her. And so I'm not making all those pieces of me wrong anymore. I'm making them part of my humanness. And that's how I make them less scary, less shadowy. And I grow through them. I develop through them. I'm like, cool, I really don't like the fact that I can beat myself up over things that have nothing to do with me. I don't like that I overtake personal responsibility and I make myself wrong so everybody else can be right and comfortable. I don't like that I shut down and I like, there's just so many little things that I was doing that didn't equal the fullness of me, which totally also equaled having illness because I wasn't full in myself. Now, again, like maybe I'm too much, and I really like that about myself because at least I'm not hiding anymore.
Yeah,
that's an attractive trait.
I like that. Well, we like you. You said you had some fun stories that you wanted to share.
Yes.
Can we dive into that?
Okay, so yes, being here on this podcast today, and it's also a new moon right now, which I'm a little woo-woo. It's all good. It's a new moon right now. Woo, it's 12/12. Oh yes, magic.
It's today 12/12?
Yeah.
Oh, what a magic day.
It's magic.
All right.
1 2 1 2.
Birthday. Yeah, I like it.
So fascinating. So a few months ago, I was sitting in a nail salon, and my long-term mentor and very good friend sent me Garrett's podcast.
Okay.
And we were listening to Garrett's podcast and we were going back and forth about some of the things. And then she was like, oh, well, I found this other guy, Keith. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we were listening to your podcast. And she's like, I'm going to book a call with him and we're going to talk and her name is Abby. And so Abby got on the phone with you guys and was like, I'm just trying to figure out how to be a better mother to my son. And you guys talked to her for a bit and she was like, oh, I just talked to them and blah, blah, blah. I bought like one of his courses because I'm trying to figure out this man thing. I don't really get it. And I'm like, how interesting. Why do I feel like I should be on his podcast? And then a few months later, a girl out of nowhere that I don't know messages me and goes, hey, I would love to have you on my podcast. I'm like, great, awesome. I'm on her podcast. We have a great time. We connect. She calls me and goes, hey, girl, I'm coming to Orange County. I'd love to meet up with you in person. I'm going to go visit my friends, Keith and Jesse. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, they live in Dana Point. And I had just moved to Orange County. So there was all these little things where like it felt like universe was putting in place for this day on 12/12 right here where we all connected.
Who was that person?
Britley.
Yeah, I just had lunch with her too. And I was like, I bet it is her.
It's Britley.
Yeah, and you guys totally have the same like
really similar.
Oh my God, the same energy.
Yeah.
And I get along with her really well and I can feel that from you too.
Yeah. So there was just like all these little things where I was like, what the actual F? Like I think are these my like Orange County people, you know, because I just moved here and I was kind of struggling with community and I had this and I'm like, but I'm like on this whole other level where I'm not meeting people who are up to what I'm up to and I want to call that in. Yeah. And there you are.
Here we are.
Magic.
I love it.
I love that. And I was just saying, like, I don't have that many good girlfriends around here. And the fact that you just moved here, like, we're going to hang out now.
Here. Yeah. And it's so funny
Where
because,
are you from?
well, I lived in LA for 10 years. So nothing crazy. I just was kind of sick of LA and how dirty it is.
That place is disgusting.
It's disgusting. It wasn't always, but
every part of LA is fucking disgusting.
No, you would have a good time.
Except for a few parts in Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood's the grossest. Anyways, so
I like the comedy places.
We have to stop talking shit about LA, guys.
Yeah. Why?
No, I'm just kidding. So funny
enough.
We're
not saying it's wrong. We're just saying it's different than us.
I like some parts of LA.
Yeah.
So what's funny too is that as I was pulling up to the studio here where we're recording, I've spent at least 1 week in the summer right here in this shopping center with my grandmother. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Crazy town. Magic.
Wow,
the magic is real. I don't even care what anyone says.
I believe so too.
Mermaids are real.
Yeah. Magical mermaids are real.
Yeah.
Where are you? What city are you in?
I'm in Costa Mesa.
Oh yeah. We love that. We
love
over there. We go to Newport all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Hell yeah.
We party over there. It's so fun.
Lots of food. What is there any other questions you had? I had a couple more, but
go ahead.
We're flowing and we're
excited
going.
now.
I know, right?
I've lost all
This is how best friends are made. Podcast.
Exactly. Boom.
You know how friends like talk and they open up this file, and then we're like, oh yeah, let's finish that one. And
and if you're people like us, are you even really best friends if you're not like trying to change the world and relationships as a whole?
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
I love that.
Pretty much. How would you? We have about 25% of listeners are women.
Yeah.
And 75 to 85% are dudes. So my question is a couple things. Number one, how can a woman be more in her feminine so the guy can understand, hey, like, you know, maybe how to deal with that? And then I want to ask a question for the dudes afterwards so we can hit them both.
So how a woman can be more in her feminine is to drop her masculine shield that she's built to stay safe. And that's really difficult when the world has continuously proven that she's not. And I think men kind of should understand that too, is that women, we move about the world like I'm not really physically safe, and emotionally is part of that too. And so for women, you know, our work to be more feminine is to drop the masculine shield and actually like get in touch with our heart and our body. Falling in love with your womanness. If you don't love your period and your cycles and you don't know anything about your fertility, you really should, because it's part of your essence. It's part of what makes you beautiful. Like our hormones are our fountain of youth. Our fertility is our fountain of youth. And the medical system says, who cares? You don't need that if you don't want children. It keeps us young and vibrant and beautiful and turned on. Being in touch with your turn on outside of what it means for men, but what it means for you and how it makes you feel, because our turn on is also how we attract more into our life. Being feminine is a very energetic experience. It's less about the physical world. So when we're really stuck in the physical of like, well, work and kids and this and that, and this is just reality, this is just what it is, and we're so disconnected, we can't feel our heart and our emotions. And that's going to be the most beautiful thing about a woman, is how deeply connected she is to that space. Not flying off the handle. She's mature about it, but she feels deeply body and she lets herself go there. And that is part of that softening that we always hear about with feminine. And the feminine is not soft. That's just a piece of her. She's also chaotic and wild and fierce and powerful and all these beautiful things. We hold ourselves back from being all of it just to live mundane status quo lives. And I don't think any of us want that. So that's what I would say.
Slow clap for that one. Totally. I agree with that.
I'm a ranter.
No, I love it.
It
I
was
think
fantastic.
it's beautiful. Is there one particular step they could do to break that shell, the masculine shield? I mean,
It's so simple, but if you just start with like meditating with your hand over your heart and feeling your body, like if you just close your eyes and you're just like touching around yourself, body map is what it's called, of like feeling what, like this feels good, this is not so for me, and just like just tapping in, just drop in. That's the best first step.
got it. What do you think? Anything to say to that? Add to that?
I agree. I love all that.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Well, I think also what you were saying is just getting in touch with who you are.
Yeah.
So we talk about the men being the best selves for them and also for women.
Yeah.
I think that's for human existence.
Yeah, exactly. And the feminine is the creator. Like we are the creator of life.
Yeah.
Whether or not we choose to have children or not, we still are the creator. We can create and incubate success for our men too. And so when we are in touch with that, we're giving ourselves and our partners better lives.
Yeah.
But also the masculine has to create a safe place for us to do that in. Otherwise, we're on the defense all the time.
That sounds like a perfect follow-up. What does the man do to create the safe space?
Listen to her.
This is for the men.
Yeah, really listen to her. Really listen to what she's saying and feeling without making her wrong or shaming her or judging her or being too busy for her. Like we really, really crave your presence. And we get it, like especially if you're high performing and you're successful and you're on the go, like we get it, but please also find time to be so present with us that you hear us and you get us and you connect with us, even if it's sitting on our bed, like across from each other, just, like legs folded, maybe we're naked if it's fun, and just talk. Like, what are you afraid of? This is what I'm afraid of. What are you afraid of? This is what I'm afraid of. Thank you. What are you afraid of? I'm also afraid of this. Thank you. And just receive us.
Yeah, because women connect up here first.
I feel like most guys, if they were to ask you, what are you afraid of? As soon as you would answer it, they'd be like, oh, you don't got to be afraid of that. Blah, 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 blah. Am I right?
Literally
Totally.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's probably something of what you were talking about. You kind of do that, like somewhat, where someone, I would say something and you're like, no. And that doesn't-
yeah. Oh, we'll just fix that right up. And you're like,
Yeah.
Fix it, or I don't do that. I mean, you just like
And we love a
diminish
fixer.
it.
Like we do. Like we love that you fix it later.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
it later.
Listen
If you
to
could
the
just,
whole thing
if your
first.
answer is thank you for telling me that, and then you hug me, oh my God, now pussy opens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flow
The
and gush
flood
the
is
whole
just
thing.
like,
Let's go. Yeah. And then I ask, what do you think? I always end with that.
So
After
when
I've
your
gotten it all
integrity
out. Yeah.
slips, it slams shut the lips.
Oh my God.
All right, there we
We'll
go.
still work.
true statement.
We're still
We're still
workshopping.
workshopping
Okay, yeah, we're
some stuff.
workshopping that.
Yeah.
That is so true.
We're craving emotional depth.
Yeah.
Like that's like the main thing I'm hearing from women is like, okay, cool, he does all the things and that's great, but like I don't know him and he doesn't know me and we're not going deeper. And the feminine is an ocean of depth. Like she goes as deep as you could possibly imagine times 10.
Yeah.
If you could just meet us there somewhere, like you don't have to go all the way down. We have girlfriends for that. And like
Yeah,
women
just-
don't put it on the men to do all the emotional lifting. It's
Right.
not their
Or
job.
call your mother and
Call your
talk to
mom.
her.
But like if
Yeah.
you could meet us somewhere, like
Yeah.
even I'll go within sex because you guys do talk a lot about sex on this podcast.
Yes.
But there's like this depth of sex that is so transcendental and mind-blowing, and like I swear there have been times where like we've seen God because like we get to be that deep, and the feminine can bring that magic if you can receive it instead of just like wham bam, thank you ma'am, here's
Yeah.
the sexy blah blah blah, here's the fantasy. That's fun, but there's also this other side of sex that the feminine craves because
Yes.
this is what like takes you to God.
Yeah. That's so
Nailed
true.
it.
Yeah.
That is
Nailed
that
it.
is so true on every level. What about the guy who's like, okay, because every guy listening to this is like, all right, if I connect deeper, I'm going to Pussy Town and we're meeting God together. Like I promise you, that's what every guy heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good ears, good listening.
Yeah.
That is where it goes. That's where our most
That's the fruit
transcendental.
of that labor for sure.
Yeah, that is the fruit of that labor.
Yeah.
That's why we always say sex gets better with age, because you're getting to know each other more.
Yeah, better with connection.
Yeah.
And you're being more connected. When a guy, I feel like guys are like, I want to connect with you, and she's like, well, not right. Like there's when he's ready, like I'm feeling connected. She's like, well. And then there's 17 reasons why she can't connect with them. How does he overcome that and that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Like
I do.
in the moment, overcome that, because I feel like that's the shield that you were talking about. It's all.
This is how it plays out in our relationship
What's
or
a
in my
tip for
head.
that little
It goes
scenario?
like it goes like this. I'm gonna play it out, and then you throw some Joe Rogan commentary on this, okay?
Taylor Rogan.
Some
Yes.
mind blown.
Some Taylor Carr commentary on this. So
Yeah.
Jesse goes, blah blah blah, and then I jump in to fix
Yada,
it.
yada, yada.
Yada yada yada, and I jump in to fix it, and then she goes, "Fucking guy did it again." And then I go, "Oh, dude, my bad. I just answered the question. No, I'm here to listen." I'm not saying Jesse does this, but I've been in a situation where this happens, where she's like, "Well, now I can't." Rather than go, "Oh, you fucked up. You're changing your mind. Cool. Now let me share." The guy feels like if he makes one misstep,
Right.
and then she holds him hostage, like, "I can't." He's like, "No, dude, just fucking talk about what you want to talk about. I want to hear." So I made a mistake. What the fuck? That is the most frustrating thing for a man on planet Earth.
Totally. Oh, yeah. I mean, I know
can
exactly
hear
what
it,
you're
too.
talking about. He's like,
Fucking hear me? And it happens. No,
So
it's true.
I'll
Yeah.
give a little nugget here and then a bigger nugget here.
Okay.
Women, to stop doing that, please. Like, they're really trying, and don't hold men hostage and like take intimacy off the table. It's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Men, hold your presence, because what just happened, if we're talking about polarity, is I just moved into my masculine because you've made me feel unsafe to share something so deep. My masculine shield goes up. Now you're going to start to feel more feminine, because that's how polarity works. If I'm masculine, you're going to lean feminine. Catch yourself, because we won't catch it, because we're now in the feeling. Catch yourself and move into a deep masculine state of presence. You want to like grab her, look at her. No, I'm present with you. I'm here. And just hold it.
That was nice.
And then she's going to start to melt. And if she fights you, no. Don't fight. I'm here. I want to hear you. Hold it. You don't have to over-explain. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
That right there, like, I gave myself a little turn on there,
Yeah.
because it feels really good to us to go, oh, like, he kind of put me in my place, but in a really, like, true way. And now I feel seen and felt, and that masculine shield melts away again.
That was like a gentle masculine man.
Yeah. We don't really
Holding
want that
space.
alpha, like, ah!
No,
We
yeah.
want you to just, like,
I want you to be more masculine
Yeah.
than that alpha. I want you to just be that big, silent, strong type that I can do that too. Because when
Yeah.
you try to alpha me up, then I'm going to alpha you up. And then that's that back and forth.
I mean, I think really conscious women don't want alpha masculine men.
No.
We don't. It turns us off. Like all that stuff on the internet, it like
Yeah.
traumatizing.
Yeah.
Whereas like conscious women want conscious men who are in their heart. And a whole world tells men to disconnect from their heart. And I'm here to tell you right now, some Joe Rogan, some Taylor Carr shit.
Yeah.
Like ignore that. Don't listen to that, because your woman's craving it. Like we're craving your heart.
Heart and connection. For
I
sure.
agree with all that. I think where a guy is going to, he grabs her and says, "I'm here."
Yeah.
He made it through the first gate. She's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Where pitfall where a guy stumbles is when he's like, "No, I'm here," and she fights back, and which is fine, because my person. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it's so fast.
Which creates unsafety.
Which creates it, because now she's being told what to do and you have to obey.
Yeah.
That's a lot of guys are going to shift there. That is going to be the initial reaction almost every motherfucker is going to have in that situation. I know, because I've been in it.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to resist that, and realize that even if she wiggles, does not want to open up, that he's okay to be like, okay, I'm here when you're ready then.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's because his ego is like, it didn't work. Oh, fucking Married Game podcast. They should have just looked at her eye and told her, I'm right here. And had it 2 or 3 times, it's not going to work. And it's,
That's where
truth
a lot
is,
of our information goes wrong.
well, the truth
I
is,
tried it. It's not working, girl.
well, the truth is, it's not going to work for probably 90% of the dudes
Sure.
for one reason. They're they don't even have the credibility to go, I got you, because she doesn't even believe he's got her.
Correct.
So they're going to try a new trick, and they're going to be like, well, you can't fucking bench press 300 pounds. You can only bench 100, so you're going to have to. So that's going to be the truth. I want them to know that that next step is it's okay to be like, well, I'm here for you when you're ready. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree with it. If you're a high performer and you're doing all these high performer things in your life, again, I'll say it again and again because it's man language. I'm learning man language. This is the same thing. Like you're lifting heavier now, so stick with it and continue to bring your like heartfelt presence to her and let her trust you over time. Like I said this when I was in the dating world to every guy. I was like, I'm like a stray kitten. If you approach too fast, I will run. And so it had to be this like thinking about animals, right? It's like this slow moving, I'm making you trust me more. I'm getting you to trust me more. And I'm not going to like take that away from you later, because we also have that fear that you're going to make me trust you so deeply and then you're going to take it away from me. Yep. It's happened to all of us. That's one of our wounds as women. And so if it's this consistent, like, no, you're really safe with me. Come, I have this treat. Like, come on a little closer. We're like, okay, I want the treat, but I'm going to be over here. It's a slow build and it's worth it. But like, don't go into the man ego. Stay in your heart. Stay in your body.
That's so good.
I like the kitty analogy.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I'll still run.
Yeah.
I'll still run. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, because you just don't know. You like the just everything about it's like it might be right, but I've been burned before, and ultimately I think what you're saying is that there's a slight level of rejection there.
Yeah.
At like the blue flame core of it is I don't want to be rejected again.
Yeah.
And if I let you in. We always talk about there's an inner slut in every woman.
Yes.
And she wants to be. I was on a call with a guy this morning. And I go, he goes, dude, I don't know if my wife's being honest with you or not. I don't think I asked her what her fantasy is and she doesn't tell it to me. I go, well, I'm going to share with you how to become that guy that she wants to share her fantasy with. Now, if she wants to get nailed by 3 black dudes, you might discover that. And don't judge her. Because,
don't judge.
because you're probably saying you want 4 beautiful Indian women all around you, touching you everywhere. He goes, fuck. I go, so you got to be willing that if you got to be able to hold this space and not be rattled by it. And that's what I'm hearing you say. And
women also don't feel safe to share their fantasy. Like we've been shamed to be sexual beings.
Yeah.
Like we're unlovable or we're broken or like we're like discardable if we're sexual, but also we're not worthy of love if we're not sexual. It's really confusing for us. So to continue to create safe space for women to be sexual with you, I will tell you, like one of the main things I hear from my clients in relationships is, I love him, but he doesn't just pick me up and throw me on the fucking bed and take me. They are like, and I remember being in this space too of like, I feel so undesired. And when I feel undesired and a woman's sexuality shuts down, it takes so much to open it back up again. And so we're just sitting there waiting for our man to help us open it back up. And he's sitting there like, she doesn't want me and we don't do this stuff anymore. And it's like a complete, what's it called? Like, it's like you're at a standstill.
Yeah.
Whereas she's over here like, is he gonna like pick me up and throw me against the wall and like show me he wants me, but nobody feels safe to do it right now.
What do you tell them? They're at an impasse. What do they do?
Yeah, just tell him. Your man wants you. You just have to make it safe for him to know that he can go there with you. Because also I express to women that like men have all this Me Too stuff. They're all terrified to make bigger, more aggressive moves. They're afraid to approach a woman in public right now. And for a good reason. It's so funny. All of my clients say, I don't want to do dating apps. I just want to meet a man in person. And then they also go, well, I can't go out by myself because these men are going to approach me. And I'm like, which one do you want? And then stand in it and be safe in yourself and trust yourself. So with the guys, like same thing. Actually, I have this whole prediction for 2024. Like I think more people are going to be figuring out how to meet in person. I don't know if it's like singles events or singles groups, but people are done with the online space. They just don't know how to feel safe in it. And I think listening to this podcast is your first step.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well,
we agree with that.
We came up with a concept for a restaurant that we think is the best concept that nobody's ever done yet. And it is, we went to Joe Rogan, we saw him and Tony Hinchcliffe and those guys in Austin. We were back last week, and we were sitting like basically front row. We were second row, but like right there. And they made you put your phone in a bag.
Yeah.
So there was no, and so these guys up on stage are saying the craziest, awesome, funniest shit on planet Earth, knowing that nobody's recording them.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And we're like, what if somebody built a restaurant where you had to do the same thing with your phone? You go in the restaurant, it's a dance, everything, and there's little cards written around with like girls lips kisses, or like dudes like with a muscle or whatever, and there's pens. So you can get each other's numbers the old way. There's no on the phone. There's no a person gets up to you to go to the restaurant and now you're just looking like nothing. It's back to, it's like this human piece of us is coming back in line.
Yeah. Oh, it's so exciting.
It really is.
I don't know what it looks like because I don't think it looks like it used to.
Yeah.
But I think that people like us are at the helm of it, of trying to figure that out, and it feels so amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
That sounds
I think
exciting
we're
for
on
people.
the edge of a wave where humans. This has happened for us. We get a lot of flack for it. We don't care. Of like, we believe this. It actually works better this way, and everything you've taught has been fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And our people are like, well, that goes against what?
Yeah.
Goes against what? A book that you've been reading?
Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
against a guru you've been like. What does it go
What your
against?
mom and dad told you growing
Yeah.
up? Yeah.
And like I feel like there's this piece where people are going like, well, what the fuck have I been taught, and why do I believe this? And
I
what
want
is
to
this?
go different is because it hasn't been working. So I want to challenge everything, every thought, just because, so
Well,
we can find that something that works for us.
Well, that's the thing. The people that quote how wrong we are about what we believe about certain things are followers of a dude who said, inspect everything by its fruit. Well, the fruit is sour and soiled and smelling like shit for almost everybody. Even people like, we get guys that call us up that are like, they're like, you're right, dude, 85% of my marriage is amazing except for this sex piece. I go, yeah, because everything you believe about that piece is actually fucking wrong. And they're like, how could it be that wrong? Well, let me tell you how it can be that wrong. Number one, boom. Number two, number three, they're like, fuck, that is all wrong. I go, you want me to show you where you got it in your book? It came right here. That's wrong. And they're like, well, how am I supposed to believe that's wrong when I'm supposed, like, my entire salvation is based on this other shit? I go, your teacher told you to inspect the fucking fruit. So go inspect it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you have a very similar idea. We're aligned very much on that. Like,
absolutely.
what the fuck works?
What works? What feels good? You know, like I'm not so interested in what everyone else thinks is going to be right for me or my body or my sexuality or my partner. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck that like watching porn and desensitizing yourself and like you can't even fucking feel a woman or be desired by a woman is like normal. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck that like women are so shut down that like everything is painful and scary. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is how are we fixing this? How are we healing it so we can get back on the same page? Because if we don't, relationships as we know it, having children, having families, family unit, all this stuff, it's done for.
Yep.
Like women are opting out
We're
of
already
relationships.
below the line.
Yeah, we're done for. Like women are opting out of relationships more than ever in history because we don't need you for money anymore. We don't need you for a house, a roof over my head. I don't need you for this stuff. I desire you and you're not rising to the occasion. That's why more women are also initiating divorces. You're not rising to the occasion. I'm willing to, but you are not, you know, like I remember I put on my story recently, like, hey men, I'm having so much fun learning about you guys and my following and men in general. Can you guys leave me a note here and tell me what you want to receive from women? Not a single one responded to it. Not one. But women did. And this is like a personal development space, women dominate it. And it's not that men are wrong, it's that men don't feel safe to come into this space, into the heart space, into like this work. You guys feel comfortable doing the like lifting the weights and making the money and becoming more successful. And now you're learning that that's not enough and that's your entire identity. Like that is so difficult for men to understand and to wrap, like it's painful. I get it. Like I'm watching it happen. And welcome to the good side where there's like pleasure and desire and fun and like delight and so much love available.
So true, right?
Very true.
It's so true.
It's exactly true.
It's we always say that if you want connection in the bedroom, you got to have connection outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of dudes just they have no idea how to have a conversation that makes a woman lean in. They have no idea how to create an environment that makes the lady, you know, let loose.
Yeah.
Like there's all these things, and sometimes you just have to ask a guy, you know, when are you done wishing and hoping? Don't you want to know how to get her legs open?
Yeah. Ethically and beautifully.
Did you see that rhyme?
Oh no. I didn't.
Wishing and hoping, legs open.
Open.
Did I pause too long before?
I think you rhyme too many all the time.
I think you need to write a poetry book. A dirty poetry book.
I'm
a
going to.
dirty one.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. Licking that what? No. Okay. Taylor, this has been so much fun having you on. Is there anything else that you're just like, you know what, I need to say this? Anything that you want to share, please do.
I think just communication, like really healthy, open communication, feeling safe to communicate with your partner and not shutting down again. Like that's going to be the most beautiful thing you can do for yourself. And I think women are pretty comfortable talking because we just gab with each other all day. But men don't have those same relationships. And so this is the place. Like your woman is supposed to be your safe place for your feelings and your emotions and your heart. So let her be that for you. Like you're trying to figure out how to do all these things to get her to open her legs, but let her be that for you and then see what happens.
Okay, what would be the first thing you would tell them to say? Like, because I'm hearing you and I'm like, all right, I'm following exactly what Taylor Carr says. So I'm gonna march my ass home.
Yeah.
When I'm done listening to this podcast and done doing my business, and I'm gonna go see my lovey. I'm gonna sit her ass down and I'm gonna be like, I heard this podcast, which means I need to share more with you, be more open with you, be these things. What do you think is the first thing he should share?
I mean, exactly what you said just now, and then hold the presence, because she might go, wow, she has something to say too, and communicate openly. Like we are doing this podcast in fluidity. I didn't come here going, I have all these things scripted, and he came in and he said this, and like you had ideas of things to ask me. It's fluid. This is how you communicate.
Yeah.
And the things are just coming because I know myself and I know what I teach and etc. So you go home and you say, I feel like I've not been open enough with you, and I really want to have an open, vulnerable space. You can ask her, can you help me with this? And see what she says, and she'll probably be like confused, but yeah,
I'm in trouble. What are we talking about?
She, but like hear what she has to say, because she might shut down a little because it's been so unsafe. She might get really excited. Read her, and then you go and you say, I've been feeling like we're really disconnected, and I want more than anything in the world to be connected to you because I love you so much, and you are the most beautiful woman in the world to me. How can I be better for you? Listen, see what she has to say. Okay, but I've been feeling shut down by you because when I do approach you for sex, I do approach you for intimacy. You're too busy, you're too tired, you're too this. How can I help you with that? Listen to her. This is how we communicate.
You know what I noticed that you didn't have? What you weren't saying with all those is you didn't have any tone. You didn't have any, I'm mad, so you need to fix it. You didn't have any, this is your problem.
Yeah.
It was more, hey, this is where I'm at, and I don't know what to do with it, and I could use your help, or I'm wanting this, because we have normally what we hear from a woman who's doing that is not, yo, I really crave your attention, and I love your presence, and I love when you're in your masculine. They don't say that.
Yeah.
They go, you're not listening to me, you're not even here, and oh, you got your man shit.
And all you ask for is sex.
And so what happens is they hear the negative side, so immediately a dude goes, oh, you have a masculine shield? Guess what, bitch? I got two. I got front and back, and I'm going to hunker down here until you're done attacking me.
Now we're going to fight for days.
So now we've got so to all you women out there, listen, if your dude comes to you and says this, what do you think the women should say at that point?
Receive him.
Yeah.
Which is a feminine quality. Like really receive him, really hear him. Don't hold him accountable to the tones of the past, which came from ego. Like what happens when defense meets defense? Fucking war, and not even a good one. Like it's a bad one, right? Defense and defense, like who's even offense? Nobody. So it's like this who you've been in the past, who they have been in the past. If your man is coming to you and saying like, I really miss my woman, like I really want my woman, you mean everything to me, I'm not gonna leave, I'm not gonna run, I'm gonna stand right here and fight for you. Can you do this with me? Receive him. And you can say the same things. I'm not afraid to be that person, and maybe it's not so like the feminine and masculine we think we know, but that feels really healthy masculine to me. And I'll drop into that space too, and I'll say, I have been feeling like everything I do is wrong in your eyes, and I know that it's not true, but I just can't feel you. Can you help me with that? And then we're asking each other for support.
That sounds like two people that are wanting to connect.
You mean everyone drop their ego and just talk from their hearts? Oh, okay, let's just all do that.
Yes, this very long podcast is just summed up in exactly that.
Like everyone just get rid of your ego.
Just stop it.
And let's make it work, and let's just communicate and talk from here, and and we'll all be fine.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let's all do it.
That's
Ready?
it. That's
Go.
it. Yeah.
Dude, you know what this is bringing up for me? I'm going to say one thing quickly so I can say the punchline, and then another thing, it might be a little more drawn out, and I want your opinion on it. The first thing quickly is I feel like we haven't done a good enough job in creating a container for more couples to have these conversations alongside of us in like a live event thing. And so I'm like, fuck, because I know a lot of really great couples, like good couples, that they don't even go as far as you and I do, as far as, you know, talking about what we really need, what we really want, what would excite the shit out of us. Like, we know great couples that are deathly afraid of that, and because things are good, they're like, I'm not fucking opening that can of worms. Fuck no. So I'm kind of convicted that we haven't actually brought a space for actual couples to be able to work through this shit together. That's on us. We have to change that coming 2024, my opinion.
That's great.
The second thing is this conversation between men and women. It's yes, more people are having it when they're married, but it sounds like to me that you went through a dating journey where you were this honest with people when you met them, and it weeded out a lot of bullshit for you. Am I right about that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And people were really scared off by me, and I'm like, yes.
Then you're
You're
not
like,
fierce.
okay, bye,
If they're not
then.
fierce enough to handle
Yeah.
you, then how could you ever?
Right.
release into
I'm
them?
not a like. I'm a powerful person. I have a lot of opinions. I'm like really, really passionate. And if a man can't hold that, then he's not going to be able to hold me in relationship, because I can also hold a lot for him too. And part of my dating process that I teach women is like, weed out the ones who can't hold you.
Yeah.
It's good, and weed them out fast. And that way we're not like fucking with people or leading people on. Like you just know quickly, this is not going to be the person for me. And that's okay. You be yourself from the beginning. Because I think a lot of people play the game of pretending to be their best self in the beginning, and then they reveal all this other shit later. I'm like, I don't even know who I'm with, who I married, because we tricked them.
Yes.
But it was with good intention of like, this is who I want to be in the world, so I'm going to make them see it because it's a new person in my life. But all your shit and your shadow and the like bad girl in the closet and all that stuff, it is part of you too, and it doesn't do anyone a service if you're not all of that. So yes.
And don't diminish who you are.
Just
to
be
be
it.
that cute little wife and then explode later on. 'Cause that's what
Yeah,
happens
don't be a
too.
cute little wife.
Yeah,
like,
just
be
be who you
passionate
are.
and fucking
Yeah.
fierce.
Yeah.
And when a man loves you for passion and ferocity, if that's who you are, of course, like, that's fire. Like, that's a fire relationship.
Cheers. I want to say one last thing, because I got this fierce, ferocious feline over here.
Yes.
Feminine feline.
Rare.
The when guys call, because we have a lot of guys call, say, hey, it's good, but I want it to go great, and they usually backpedal off of that a little bit. They're like, oh, it's good, I just want to go great, and they ask a couple questions. It's like, well, it's actually not that fucking good. I really need this. I'm like, okay, I got you. But the term I've been using lately is when guys say it's good, but they want great, I go, oh, you want to go from brown belt to black belt. That's because I just joined jiu-jitsu
Yes,
a
of
month
course.
ago. So everything is jiu-jitsu at this
BJJ
point.
vibes.
Big fan. Big fucking fan. And the fact that it has a BJ in it, the title, I mean, pretty fucking great.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Go there for dinner.
Yeah. So when I listen to a guy who goes, things are great, but I can't quite unleash the inner slut in my wife, I always think, okay, you're a brown belt, you need to go to black belt. And what that, to me, the best way I explain it, and I'm curious of your thoughts now having had this conversation with you, I say, you're not lacking anything except this one thing. And it's the leadership ability to take her down the path of pleasure to where you can unlock all that crazy sexual inner slut energy in her. Do you agree with that?
I agree with it mostly.
Okay.
Because it is her job too. It's her work too. It's her journey too. Because again, like, if we don't have a relationship with our body, our sexuality, we don't know what we like. We don't know how to share it. We haven't even unlocked all the different types of orgasms we can have with ourself. Then, you know, our husband can take us down this journey as far as he wants, and he can be doing a great job, and I still don't know me. For us, it's so mental, like sex, and you guys know that. Like, if I don't know this piece of myself, if I've not unlocked my inner slut for myself, if I'm not, like, before I came to this podcast, I wanted to be in a great energy. I crawled on my bed naked, and I was like dancing around and feeling myself, because I was like, I want to make sure that I'm showing up in the world as I want to, and turned on as part of that experience. So if she doesn't know how to do that because she's shut down with herself, he can only take her so far.
This is our perfect
Well,
time to
that's
take
exciting.
our break with the ViberMax 2000. If you're looking to... No, that's actually a really beautiful answer. I like that you didn't let the woman off the hook entirely,
No.
which obviously is all of our work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for you
It's
men
true,
who
it's so
you
true.
are, because we are attracting a lot more, and this is consciously, we're attracting more of the men that are good to great, even though we're willing to help anybody in a shit sandwich, no problem.
Yeah.
But the good to great guys are looking for that nuance, and they're like, okay, yes, we're having sex twice a week, but it's not like, how I described the best sexual experience of my entire life was on our 12th anniversary. That was exactly a month ago, 12 years in here, and it was the greatest night of sex of my entire life with any human being ever.
It's beautiful.
So, yeah, this lady right
She's
here.
still glowing from it
Yeah.
a month later.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, we had a fucking rival match, which was damn near as close. But
Nice.
with that being said, I like those guys, and it's these nuances that you're talking about. It's the ability to have a conversation that's vulnerable, and also somehow in the vulnerability, it creates safety for the woman to go, I can trust this fucking dude.
Yeah.
And that's where you can say, hey, there's a pleasure land over here I'm wanting to go. And she goes, if it's with you, yes.
Yeah.
So you are able to dissect some of those nuances, and this has been such a pleasure to have you on the
Yes.
phone on the show, and like break down some of that, because I think that's the brown belt to black belt shit we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is how to have that conversation where I'm looking into someone's soul and saying, yo, let's try this, and they're like, if it's with you, the answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to feel safe in that with you. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And I think just to kind of close off, it's part of why I love what you guys are up to and you love what I'm up to, is that I am calling women out and I'm calling men out, not totally in my job, but I'm calling the women out too. And you guys are calling the men out. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. And like the dance that we're doing in the world
Yeah.
as well. So keep listening to this guy, keep
Yep.
listening to me, and let's make love and sex a more beautiful, pleasurable
Happy,
place.
joy and fun.
Yeah.
And all the things.
Yeah.
And fucking
Fun.
fun.
Fucking fun.
I love it. Well, Taylor, thank you for being on the
Yes,
show.
thank you.
This has been an honor. I hope I wanted, there's more shows I want us to do, because I got questions, and I got questions for Dan. I'm a really curious guy.
Beautiful.
But with that, if you love this show, if you're like, man, I need more of that. First of all, if you are a brown belt, like things are good, but you want that amazing sex life that you hear about us talking about, and you hear Taylor talking about, and how to get that, go to marriedgame.com, book a call. You'll talk with me specifically, and I can walk you through what those nuances actually look like. And again, don't be a nerd. Spread the word. Share this show with someone else if you gained any value out of it. Where are they going to find you? Where can they find you on Instagram? Where can they find you and follow you and listen to you?
Instagram, I am Taylor Carr is my new account, and my
2 R's.
2 R's, TAYLORCARR, and my website is upgradewithtaylor.com.
All right, so head there if you want to learn more from her, and as always, keep crushing it, because that shit is contagious.